Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Hello, world! I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is your Geek Out for today. I'll get to the Locker Gnome top user in just a second. I can't stop checking now for updates to Google's Nexus 7 device, if only because they're pushing a new one down the pike today, which will enable landscape mode, and many of you have been looking forward. I know! It hasn't happened yet, Wicket! Fine. Okay, according to the Locker Gnome app, this one is running on my iOS device. Our top user today, I'm just going to take at the top of the fan wall, it's Wes Nicholson. He's also known as DJ Wheeze. Thank you for participating, and I see his icon all the time. He is constantly sharing our content. And you know, we like it when you share our links, wherever they are. What does webplatform.org mean to you? You caught the announcement yesterday, assumedly, when you were listening to Geek Out. It's a collaborative effort between Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Nokia, HP, and even Apple. It's basically promising to establish a set of basic standards and resources that bring all of the competing standards together in one place, which will hopefully make the internet more interoperable. Open is the future, after all. And what does that mean to you? Well, it means a better experience, no matter what you choose to use. Why I'm holding my hand out for Windows 8. I'm actually going to geek out about this in just a moment, but I'm in agreement with the author. I think Windows 8 is going to be a huge shot in the arm, and I'm just a little excited about it. Okay, maybe. 5 sites to avoid while working. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Not Locker Gnome, though. You can still visit Locker Gnome and get work done. No, I mean, the bottom line is social media is out there. I mean, this content's there, but it's not really made for you to digest or experience when you're doing something else, or you need to be doing something else. So hopefully you're not pushing off your homework or your work in general just to watch little old me. Robot Tuna, protecting our coastal waters from attack. You can't eat it! Looks like we've posted a tutorial on how to set up USB media playback on a Roku 2 XS, as well as how to use print screen on a Mac. Because many of you didn't realize you can do print screen on a Mac. No, there's no print screen key. Don't go looking for it. It's actually not as intuitive, but there are far more options built into the OS if you didn't already know. Elsewhere throughout the world, Tim Westergren says some artists make over $2 million with Pandora. Wow, maybe I chose the wrong line of work. Box announces it has over 14 million users, with 92% of Fortune 500 companies using the service. You know, I'm not really using Box as much as I am Dropbox. I use Google Drive, I use SkyDrive, I use any cloud-based service. In fact, I found out, sorry, I was getting choked up there, about an online backup service that offers unlimited backup. And it's, you know, I would say relatively affordable in terms of what you get. Cross-platform as well. go.tagjag.com/online backup if you want more information. The bottom line is there's a lot of cloud-based services you could use for storing your files, backing them up, or just collaborating in the cloud. Google is allegedly going to be co-branding a 10-inch Nexus tablet with Samsung. So I guess that's news, as long as their tablet apps are optimized for tablet screens, although Google has kind of been wishy-washy on that, saying, no, the app should run well anywhere. Well, yes and no. When you've seen an app optimized for a larger screen, you know that, well, it's optimized and it's running optimally. The good news about this, and admittedly it is a rumor, the 10-inch tablet they're referring to here may very well sport a higher DPI than the iPad. You know, the Retina display on the iPad that you've been, well, I don't know if you've seen it before, but allegedly it's going to be 299 DPI. That's not how much it's going to cost. That's how many dots per inch would be on this, assumedly, Android Nexus tablet at a 10-inch display. How you measure. iPhone usage among U.S. teens hits 40% as iPad continues to gain traction. So there you go. You want to be popular with the teens, all you got to do is use an iOS device. Google Play now lets you sample in-app purchases before you buy. Hallelujah! I absolutely love the way Google has approached the marketplace. I think they've done a better job than Apple in some respects. I do think Apple has done a better job in other respects, but I like the way Google does it. You know, you can integrate video so you can see what the app looks like when you're actually using it versus a static screenshot. I love the fact you can now do this. I love the fact that on the Google Marketplace, I'm sorry, I'm tripping up. Google Play, that's what they're calling it now. It used to be the marketplace, or the Android marketplace. You can download from a web browser on your desktop and automatically have it downloaded to your Android devices, so long as they're connected to Google Play. So this is even better news. I also caught word that there's a McDonald's out there that has now set up iPads for its patrons to use. Little odd, but I guess it's not a problem. I wonder how they're going to handle it, with all the grease that would get on the screen and the potential for someone to punch the screen and damage it. Hey, it's worth trying. Too bad they don't give away an iPad with a Happy Meal. That'd make people happy. On LockerGnome.net, Muttley2209 writes, in the age of Skype and social networking, why does it still cost so much to make a simple phone call? I don't know! I haven't paid for traditional phone service, a landline, in at least a year. They keep trying to win me back, but I'm like, dude, I don't need it. I can just set up a bridge online for free. There's so many services, and I'm usually sitting here anyway. Of course, I do have wireless service, I can't get away with dropping that connection because inevitably I can't get to Wi-Fi or a network I trust anywhere. So I think it's just that people don't realize the options are available. I mean, we can wake them up. We can say, dude, use something better. Save money. Don't pay anything. Unless you need to pay something. I'm not saying that the only way to go is free stuff, because believe you me, I pay out the nose for some things. Not everything. So getting back to the story I mentioned earlier, why I'm holding my hand out for Windows 8. I don't think she's looking for a handout, but what Candace is saying is, hey, Windows 8 is going to be pretty cool. And she's saying this as a user, and I think closer to an average user who certainly loves technology, but Windows 8 is going to be different. And initially, I think there's going to be some pushback because it is different, but I think users will warm up to what Microsoft has set the stage for, especially if they buy a touchscreen PC. If anything is going to drive new PC adoption, this is going to be it. Windows 8 on a touchscreen device, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, works very well. I have seen applications optimized for a Windows touchscreen device. Bravo. So now we just have to wait for more apps to be developed, and they will be developed. Now, the bigger story, and understand, and remember, Candace is also a Windows Phone user, is the connection between Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8, okay? That's a big deal. And the reason why is because up until this point, Apple has been the only, vendor in the consumer space that has effectively tied its mobile strategy with its desktop strategy. And they've done it in, well, the numbers speak for themselves. How much money has Apple made? I mean, yes, beyond hand over fist. They got it right, or at least right enough. Google, not quite there. They don't have that desktop strategy. And, we've done stories before and videos and talked about, the death of the PC. And many of you, no, it's not going to die. Okay, it's not going to die. Whatever. Right now, we deal with laptop computers. We deal with desktop computers. And if we're running an OS, it's probably, and I'm going to talk about the average consumer, going to be something from Apple or a PC running Windows. So now that Microsoft has a mobile and desktop strategy, and let's put laptop in there as well, okay? That full strategy, that full experience, they're going to effectively be in the same space as Apple. They've also got online services, kind of like Apple. So they're really starting to play more within the same space than they had before. And I'm not going to say that Google's the odd man out, but Google's kind of going to become the odd man out. I don't know many people who are using Chrome OS or Chromebooks. I found them to be overpriced in terms of what you get. I've even thought like on an impulse buy. Like if they dropped to $200, I'd be like, yeah, plunk, sure, no problem. But I just know I wouldn't use it as much as I would other devices in that price range, like my Nexus 7, or certainly, something a bit more expensive, an iPad, or, an iPhone, or my Samsung Galaxy S3. The bottom line is, that's a bigger part of Microsoft's strategy, having that mobile experience tie in with that desktop experience and do their best to blend them together. And I'm not, saying that they're doing it extremely well. I still think they should have dropped the desktop legacy applications from Windows 8, and I understand why they are keeping them in there. It's just that I don't really want to see the classic desktop or apps that would run on the classic desktop. On a Windows 8 machine, I want to live in the modern, formerly Metro UI. It's really cool, and you don't quite get that experience when you can't touch the screen. So I expect all the OEMs and even Microsoft to sell a lot of Windows 8 devices with touchscreens. And then more importantly, when people go to upgrade their current PC, which let's say is running Windows 7, what are they likely going to go to? Well, they're probably going to upgrade to Windows because they know of Windows. But when they buy that new PC, the chances are pretty good that they're going to buy something that has a touch screen, whether we're talking something in the laptop capacity or something on the desktop. I mean, there are touchscreen monitors that will work well. I don't know how well they would work throughout the day because your arm would kind of get tired, reaching up and swiping across the screen. But the fact that Microsoft's built-in compatibility for traditional input devices, as well as, I guess this is more of a traditional input device than a mouse, I think it's going to be interesting, and they're doing the best they possibly can to address the market where it stands today. Computing is by and large going mobile, whether we're talking about these types of devices, something bigger, something smaller. It's no longer being tethered to a desk. And, they've got a good story. They really do. And I like that. What's interesting to me, this is what I like the most, they're doing it in this form factor and a traditional desktop computer form factor. And they're blending that experience together. So when you upgrade your PC, maybe I'll upgrade my phone too. Well, if I've got a Windows PC, maybe I should get a Windows phone. Just like I've got an iPhone, maybe I should be getting a Mac. It's that full story that I don't think many people are really talking about. But that is where Microsoft is really going to have a chance to shine, at least with their partners, because Microsoft's really only producing one PC that I know of, the Surface. And this is just the beginning, or really a reinvention of Windows. I don't care what kind of user you are. Windows 8, at least in the state on a touchscreen device, is a good experience. Yeah, I may be staying up past midnight to order one. I still don't know how much they're going to cost, one of the Surface PCs. But, if it hits that sweet spot for a price, yeah, I've got my credit card at the ready. See? I pay for devices. Well, some of my devices. In fact, I probably pay for too many devices. Too frequently. It's an addiction. Well, even if you're not looking forward to Windows 8, some of us are. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for all of your support, all of your shares, all of these things, your thumbs ups, liking things. The like doesn't mean that you like me, because you may hate me, but you just appreciate my effort. That's love, really, in a strictly platonic kind of relationship thing that we got going on here. Because I am only looking into a camera right now. I don't know you, really, other than how I interact with you in the Locker Gnome app, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google+, wherever. We just appreciate you. We'll see you later.